Okay, guys, it is the day of the 15th anniversary event going live in Star Trek Online on PC, and I am going to check if there is a new giveaway. Promotions tab. Yes, there is. Okay, 5 master keys are today's giveaway. I'm guessing this is going to be the last giveaway because the event is live today, so I'm guessing this is going to be the last of it. Again, only up for a day, so we're not doing the whole last thing is up for a week thing like we did the last couple of years. Very, very odd, but whatever. Okay, well, let's claim these. See how they do. Are they going to be bound or not? They probably are. Bound to character. Ooh, bound to character. That's weird. I can't even move these to another character. Okay, so be mindful of what you claim these on because these are going to be bound to the character that you claim them on. That means you are not going to be able to trade them to another player. You're not going to be able to put them on the exchange, and you're not even going to be able to move them to one of your own characters, which again, kind of weird. Now, the bulk of this video I actually recorded earlier this morning before the server went live, so the rest of this video is going to be covering that, but since I recorded that, some other things have happened, so I'm going to go over the things that have changed since then. Later, I do go over the patch notes, but since I recorded that, some other things have been added to that since. First off, apparently they've resolved an issue with Klingon recruitment characters that was preventing them from earning melee kills and ambush kills throughout the recruitment event, so that's been fixed, so that'll be good for those of you working on your KDF recruits. Additionally, they've done some tuning to the personal trait Breen Shield Tunneling, which was a personal trait introduced in the recent lockbox. They've decreased the amount of shield and armor penetration the trait gives from 30% to 15%, and increased the amount of shield capacity reduction that the trait gives from 9.1% to a full 10%. So a bit of a nerf on Breen Shield Tunneling, which is not that surprising. This was stated by Bordicus to be a known overperformer, so it's not surprising that some tuning was done to this trait. They've also done the same thing to Glass Cannon, which is basically the ground version of Breen Shield Tunneling. They've reduced its weapons buff from 20 to 15%, and the maximum shield capacity reduction is actually reduced on this one from 16.7 to just 10%. So a little more of an even spread there. So less weapon damage out of that one, but less shield reduction out of that one. Whereas with the Breen Shield Tunneling, you get less shield penetration, less armor penetration, but you get actually slightly more shield capacity reduction there. They've also added one thing on known issues. I actually covered this later in the video because this was talked about during Kale's live stream. But the Garrett is supposed to have a cloaking device. It doesn't right now, but that will be added in a later patch. One other thing going on PC right now is there is a 20% bonus Zen sale going on right now. So if you buy Zen through Arc right now, you will get an additional 20% of Zen added to your purchase. So if you've been wanting to buy Zen, now is a good time to do it, which makes sense given how close the anniversary bundle is to release. So if you think you're going to be short on Zen for the bundle, now is a good time to buy some. And for those of you who play Star Trek Online through the Epic Game Store, not only is there a free giveaway up right now that seems to include an experimental upgrade token, a skill boost, and I'm not sure what that third thing is. Oh, it's a console, shared processing integration. So yeah, that is up for free on Epic right now. And of course, there's also a 20% Zen sale on the Epic Game Store. So any Zen purchases here made on Epic will be 20% off compared to their normal price. And of course, if you are going to be buying Zen here on the Epic Game Store, don't forget to use my content creator code STU1701. It really helps me out, and I really do appreciate that. Console players, I've also got news for you because the Legendary bundles are now on sale. 35% off all Legendary bundles starting now through February 16th. So if you have been eyeing any of the Legendary bundles that are occasionally available in the C-Store, now is the time to get them. This will include the return of the 10th Anniversary bundle. That's the big one with 10 different ships in it. So if you've been eyeing that one or any of the others, definitely a good time to get it. I know the 10th Anniversary bundle is very tempting, but it's also, very expensive too. And I don't think all of these ships have aged all that well. Some of them are still pretty good. Some of them are kind of eh. Honestly, my 3 recommendations worth looking at are definitely the Legendary First Strike bundle, the Legendary Battlecruiser bundle, or the Mirror Universe bundle. That's the one with the Legendary Galaxy Dreadnought in it. So I would check out any of those 3. But of course, it is your Zen. Feel free to pick and choose what you like. But yeah, that's everything that's been added since then. So now I'm going to hand you off to 5 in the morning, Stu. Hi, welcome back to Stu Makes a Video at 5 in the morning before everyone else in the house wakes up and makes a bunch of noise. The 15th anniversary event goes live on PC later today. So of course, we've got patch notes going over what's coming in today's live patch. First off, there's going to be the new episode Axiom, as well as for the event. You will be able to participate in the new episode. The TFO is Royal Flush, Battle of Wolf 359, or Borg Battle Royale. Now, in a previous video, I mistakenly said that Royal Flush was a new TFO. This is not a new TFO. This was released back in, I think, September, somewhere around there. So yeah, there is no new TFO with this update, just the new episode, but you will be able to participate in any of these 3 TFOs in order to earn progress toward the anniversary event and earn your grand prize of the Garrett Command Alliance Dreadnought Cruiser. There's also going to be a new party popper, which we've already gone over. That's going to be Ethereum themed. Once you've earned your prize, you can still continue to participate in the event to earn bonus dilithium, which will start at 8,000 dilithium ore, and then will increase by 1,000 every day that you complete it, which is a nice thing to do. Even after you've completed the event to get your ship, it's always good for your dilithium grind to keep doing the event in order to get some additional ore, especially if you have multiple characters. You definitely want to spread that around to multiple different characters to speed up the refining process of that dilithium ore. And of course, there will be a buyout. This one says it's a Zen buyout. Usually not these holiday events, these seasonal events are usually low buy buyouts. But maybe I'm remembering incorrectly about the anniversary event. Maybe it's always a Zen buyout. I don't remember. We'll see when the event goes live. It's if it says Zen, it's probably Zen. But I always remember these being a low buy buyout. So hopefully I'm wrong. And then of course the event grand prize is the Garrett Alliance Command Dreadnought. We got a little bit more information on this thanks to the live stream that Bordicus and Thomas the Cat did on Ambassador Kale's live stream recently, so I'll go over notes on that after I get through this. Some additional information though going with this patch. First off, the Stargazer class heavy cruiser is getting a remaster. Thomas Moroni actually teased this a little while ago, saying that there was going to be a ship in the quote four nacelle family that was going to be getting a revamp soon, and now we know what it is. It's the Stargazer class. This will be going live, right when the anniversary event goes live. So this will be usable on any variant of the heavy cruiser. So that's like the Constellation class or the Awani class. If you have the T6 Awani, you'll be able to use this new skin right away on it. Thomas has posted pictures up on Blue Sky of the revamped Stargazer class, and apparently it is designed to be It's designed based off of the design language from the Protostar class from USS Prodigy, from Star Trek Prodigy, which that's kind of cool. That's definitely a design style that has been not explored a lot. It's very much unique to the Protostar, so it's kind of cool to see another ship being made in this sort of language. It looks really nice, and especially considering like what the Stargazer looked like before. This is a massive improvement, but that's kind of to be expected at this point with these ship remasters. They've all been just absolutely fantastic. They do a really good job of making these old cryptic originals look like something that's more appropriate to an actual era in Star Trek. And it's cool that they're also exploring these like seldom used design languages, or especially these newer ones that have been in the more recent shows. You can see here the StoWiki post. Here's an older picture of the original Stargazer class. So yeah, you can see it's a massive improvement between this to this. That's just absolutely fantastic. The updated Stargazer was designed and modeled by Tobias Richter, who's done a bunch of work for Star Trek Online in the past, and the intake for the ship was done by Ramon Ratas, one of the new folks from Deca, who I really hope I'm pronouncing your name right. If I'm butchering it, I'm really sorry. So yeah, that'll be going up later today with today's patch on PC. And like all of these other ship remastered, this is going to be going up completely for free. So if you already own the Awani, you will have instant access to this updated skin. Or I should say, if you already own the Awani or any other variant of the heavy cruiser. A couple other small things. Apparently they resolved an issue with the adapted Scimitar's wings not matching in the ship tailor. They also resolved an issue with the Olympic class and Nobel class variants, which apparently they didn't have access to the Vesta hull material or the window options from the Vesta. That's been resolved apparently with this patch. And this last note's kind of interesting. Apparently they've tweaked the names and registry numbers on ships to better fill up the space that's allocated to them. Starship registry numbers and names scale more appropriately to fill up the allocated space. This means that shorter names and registry numbers will scale up to be larger, removing empty space when using shorter names and numbers. This change was made to white, black, and TOS style registry numbers. Some ship models have been slightly tweaked to accommodate this, but more may need to be adjusted in the future. Black registry numbers with red outlines have also had their scaling adjusted, so they scale more appropriately based on their allocated space to the model. Pundits posted a thread on Blue Sky posting about how, some of the changes that were being made to registry numbers specifically, some of the work that went under the hood that Thomas put into all of this stuff. It's neat stuff, but I'm not going to go over all into it. I'll let you guys go read this for yourself. But he did post some images to kind of give you an example of what this is going to look like. Like, here's what the registry number for Antares looks like with the current spacing, but with this fix, now it's going to better fill up that space a little bit. As you can see, it doesn't even reach this line here with the old spacing, but now it goes all the way up to this line with the new spacing. So like I said, it just better fills up the space. Apparently this update is also already live on Tribble, so NeoK182 also posted some additional screenshots for before and after shots. Like, here's a before shot on the Odyssey, and here's an after shot clearly showing that the registry number is taking up a bit more space in this area than it was before. Yeah, here's a before shot of the Discovery Constitution and an after shot of the Discovery Constitution. You can see, again, filling more space. And here it is on the Matsumoto class. Here is currently, and here is after the fix. I think they went a little too wide on Matsumoto, but maybe that's just because of the A in the prefix. Maybe that's why that's a little too wide, but I feel like it's getting a little too close to the red line there. But overall, I do really like this change. Like, it's probably something that not every single player is going to even notice, but it's just like one of those small little details that I really do appreciate. That I love it when Star Trek Online has the time to implement this kind of stuff, because it's those little details that just make the ships that look that much better. And of course, there are a couple of known issues. The first one being that Axiom does not apparently have any German localization, so sorry, German players. And additionally, the anniversary buyout has the wrong ship in the image page, so it'll probably look like a different ship, but it should be for the Garrett. It's just using the wrong image. Additionally, Ambassador Cal had a little 10 Forward weekly reunion on his own personal stream with Bordicus and Thomas the Cat, aka Jeremy Randall and Thomas Maroney. I'll link the VOD down in the video description in case you want to watch that entire thing for yourself, in case you missed it, but here are some of the highlights. We got to see an image of a new XB uniform, which is going to be the reward for the new episode Axiom. It's kind of cool. Bordicus also confirmed that the costume will have a full color palette, so you can get pretty crazy with the colors on it. Thomas Maroney confirmed that the Garrett's class design was originally based off of the Galaxy class. That was kind of like the jumping off point for its design. However, it cannot be kit bashed with the Galaxy, nor can it use any of the Galaxy exclusive consoles, which really isn't that much of a surprise. Like, Kittimer couldn't mesh with any of the D7 variants. Jarok couldn't be kit bashed with the Dideridex. There was no reason to assume that the Galaxy would be able to kit bash with the Garrett. We got a little bit of an update on playable swarm ships. This is something that has been teased off and on for quite a while at this point. Basically, a swarm ship is basically, how we have fighter squadron pets, which are basically a single pet, but they consist of multiple smaller craft. They've wanted to make that into a sort of playable ship, and the tech just isn't where it needs to be at. And apparently, they're still poking at that when they have the time, but it's still not where it needs to be in order to work. So it's still on their minds. It's not coming anytime soon. Oh, they also showed off some concept art from for the Garrett. Sorry, it's kind of pixely. I had to just take this directly from the stream, and the stream quality was a little potato quality, so some of the images you're gonna see taken from the stream are a little blurry. But this is the concept art for the Garrett done by Hector Ortiz, and as usual with Hector, it looks absolutely gorgeous. We also got to look at the tooltip for the console, and yeah, I know the quality's not great. Like I said, Kale was kind of streaming in potato quality for some reason. But we did get to learn a couple new things. For one, apparently the console will actually buff bonus damage. That wasn't in the blog. Apparently it gives a bonus damage buff, not just a Cat 1 buff. So that is a Cat 2 damage buff from this thing, which applies to you, your pets, your teammates' pets, all based on the number of nearby allies to you. Apparently the passive also has a duration timer on it for some reason, but Bordicus did confirm that this timer does refresh automatically, so you don't really have to worry about it. But it does make me wonder how much downtime is this going to have, and what is actually going to be triggering it, or is it just trigger it on its own? But that's going to be looked into. Bordicus did also confirm that the console does not stack with it, so you having multiple players activating this all at once will not grant even more bonus damage buffs on top of you, which makes sense given that it gives bonus damage that would like a potential for 50% max bonus damage multiplied by 4 other players all using it at the same time. There's no way they would let you do that, so it makes sense that this would this would not stack with other versions of the console. I know it's kind of unfortunate, but I mean, like, come on, it's already a lot of bonus damage. We also got to look at the tooltip for the Starship trait for the Garrett. There's not a lot of new information here, so I know this is like impossible to read because again, Kale was streaming in potato quality for some reason. But again, there's not a lot of new information on this one that wasn't already in the blog, so it's not that really big of a deal. But Borticus did confirm that the buffs off of the Starship trait, the hull capacity and shield capacity buffs, those will not apply to hangar pets like the buffs from the console do. So this trait not going to be great for a pet build, but will still be good for a support build. Okay, what else do we get? Counselor Suna, the new community manager, also popped in during the stream, confirming that the DECA introduction stream will be soon, but still we didn't get a firm date on that. During the stream, there was also some talk about just how long it takes to make a ship. Borticus went into, obviously there were two answers to this. There's the design duration and the art duration of it. And fortunately, the two people responsible for that kind of stuff were both there. So Borticus said the design side of a ship roughly takes about 30 days, plus some extra time to work out any kinks afterwards, which is why they give some lead time before actually releasing a ship. But yeah, it takes roughly 30 days in order to develop stats and what a console and Starship trait does. I don't think this is including like UI work and other art assets for Starship traits and consoles, so that would probably add to a time. But that probably goes into the art side of things, which Thomas said, concept art will probably take like 3 to 4 weeks, and then actually modeling the ship could take up to 4 to 8 weeks, depending on the complexity of the model. So just to give you an idea of just how long it takes to build a ship, because they can't just pull these things out of their butts instantly. It takes time to make these things. Also, discussion on ship interiors came up because everyone's always talking about ship interiors. Oh, I want ship interiors so badly, but no one wants to pay for them. We also got some interesting history on ship interiors. Apparently, the original designers only put ship interiors into the game just because they had some extra time. Like, apparently, this was not a feature that was originally supposed to be in game, but they just had some extra time, so they were just like, all right, let's make some ship bridges and an interior and put those on ships, and they managed to pull it off. But now it's a thing. People started to expect it, and they realized how much more work it would be to actually do that, especially for something because because it was just kind of like a last minute thing that they just did because they had the time. There was no real thought put into what these would actually do for the game. So they're basically just an interior zone that doesn't really do much. It wasn't until much later that all those duty officer contacts were put into the game too. So that was just another afterthought that wouldn't happen until much later after the game's release. And also to give you an idea of how long it takes to make an entire ship interior, basically we just went over how long it takes to build a ship. What Thomas Maroney said on the stream, apparently it is 3 times more expensive to make a ship interior than it is to make an actual playable ship. And all of that work and all of that expense to make something that most players won't even bother with because it doesn't do anything. It's basically just a little private social zone. So yeah, that's why ship interiors are kind of few and far between. No one wants to pay for them. They don't really do anything, and they're incredibly expensive for the team to actually make on the development side. Thomas Maroney dropped a teaser that we might be getting a remaster for the Dauntless. I'm guessing this is going to be the original Dauntless from Star Trek Voyager, not the Dauntless 2, because that was a very recent release. So it sounds like we're getting a remaster for the Dauntless. No idea when it's going to be launched. But that was teased, so I'm guessing it must be kind of soon-ish, probably within the next couple of months, maybe, but again, no firm date was given. He also teased that there are a lot more ships to design and remaster, so apparently it's something they are still wanting to do, so that's still going to be happening. The call for more TMP ships was also made during the stream, and the response was just, stay tuned, which led into discussion about the new anniversary bundle, which, I mean, they did confirm that the new bundle is definitely going to be TMP era themed. It's not necessarily going to be Heritage Bundle themed. We all kind of assumed this was going to be Heritage Bundle 2.0 after the reveal of the Ark Royal, which was a ship from an old Star Trek game, much like the ships from the Heritage Bundle were. But Thomas Maroney did say that some of the ships in the 15th anniversary bundle will probably surprise some of you. He also confirmed that while every ship in the bundle is TMP era themed, each ship in the bundle will have a more contemporary skin available to it, whether it be a new skin or a previously available skin within the game. He also went on to define contemporary to Star Trek Online's era as being anywhere between the TNG to Star Trek Online era. So in case for some reason you don't want to be flying in a 150-year-old ship, you will be able to apply a skin that will make it a bit more modern looking. Bordick has confirmed that all of the new ships are going to be equipped with pulse phasers. However, they will be just standard pulse phasers like every ship comes with. They will not be upgradable. If you want to get upgradable versions, you will have to get the lockbox versions off the Exchange or the Infinity lockboxes. And Thomas Morney also confirmed that the pulse phasers are getting a revamp. The visual effects for these have been adjusted to look more like the visuals used in the Wrath of Khan. However, the audio is still a maybe. Apparently, this update is actually already live on Twitter. I actually have footage of that. As you can see, the effects are definitely more similar to Wrath of Khan. However, the audio is still just some base audio that I'm sure they probably developed in house and is not isn't really that close to that used in the movie. Now, I don't know when the Pulse Phaser update is going live. I'm guessing it's either going to be when the anniversary event goes live, or it's going to be going live when the anniversary bundle goes live, which that we still don't have a date for. Oh, there was also one other thing about the Garrett. Apparently, it is supposed to have a standard cloak. Bordick has confirmed that the team kind of forgot that all Alliance ships are supposed to have at least a standard cloak. So the Garrett will get a standard cloak. Not when it goes live, but sometime after that, it will be patched in eventually. So it'll probably be it probably won't have it when the event goes live, but it'll probably be patched in sometime before most people start actually completing the event, assuming you didn't buy it out immediately. So yeah, it will have a standard cloak. Not that it really needs it, because I mean it's clearly meant to be like a big tanky dreadnought. That's generally something you don't really want a cloak on. But at the same time, if Alliance ships are supposed to have a cloak, they gave it a cloak, or at least they will. And one last thing, during the stream, it was brought up about the possibility of remastering old episodes. This gets brought up from time to time because there are plenty of old episodes in Star Trek Online that have been removed and never really got brought back. The most notable of which is what they call the Ultimate Klingon arc, or what I typically call the Kuvamach arc, which it features Morale Paris. The Klingons try to kidnap her. Then there's some time travel and nonsense with the Guardian Forever. And the big thing about this 2-episode arc is that it features audio from Leonard Nimoy that he recorded from the game. Now, Bordick did confirm that there's nothing on the schedule right now for any remastered episodes, but it has been brought up in conversation. So clearly, they still want to do it. It's just still a matter of finding the time to fit it into the schedule. And the schedule is a little hectic right now because much of the new design team is still learning about the game, because it's a 15-year-old game. There's going to be a lot of weird ins and outs and exceptions and just, crazy spaghetti code nonsense for Star Trek Online. So there's going to be a hell of a learning curve for a lot of these new folks. Now, I don't know if I've talked about this in a previous video or not, but honestly, this the old episodes, particularly the Ultimate Klingon arc with the Guardian Forever and the Kuvamach stuff. That is an arc I really want to see brought back into the game, largely because it literally features Leonard Nimoy. That is that alone should be a reason enough to want to remaster those episodes to bring them back, even if it's condensed into one episode or whatever. Like, who knows how they would do it, but that's something that needs to be brought back into the game. And I remember saying that I feel like it's something that they should have done kind of between story arcs, like after the Mirror Universe event ended, or after the Mirror Universe story arc ended. I feel like that would have been a good time to kind of take a break and kind of try to cut this into the schedule before jumping into this whole multiverse arc. I think that would have been a good idea, but that's just me. But I know that was the big argument against doing remastered episodes for a long time. I remember Al Rivera saying this, that remastering an old episode would mean taking time away from developing new content. But my counter argument to that has always been that these episodes are so old now that it's going to be new content to a lot of players at this point. So at this point, I don't, it's worth doing just for the sake of, having more recent players finally being able to experience this arc. And it's going to be a nice wave of nostalgia for old school players like us who haven't seen this content in years. So yeah, that is about everything. This kind of went on a little longer than I thought it would, so I'm going to wrap up here. Anniversary event goes live today for PC. Console, that will be going live for you next month. So March 11th, that'll be going live for you guys. The giveaways will be starting on March 4th for console, so keep an eye out for that. Yeah, let me know what you guys thought of this down below. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. If you'd like to further support the channel, you can hit the join button to gain additional channel perks, or you can check out the link to the merch store or any of the or the pinned comment for any of the affiliate links. Either way, though, thank you so much for watching. My name's Stu, and I will see you guys next time.